So what's it like being an MK?
When my parents first told me that we were moving to Peru, it was kind of a shock.
When my parents told me that we would be leaving, I was very upset and very mad at them for a long time because I had an established community in the States. It was a good community.
I kind of had a negative attitude about it. I didn't want to have to adjust to something different, and yeah, it was just kind of hard. So.
I was disappointed because I wanted to live in the U.S. We had everything ready, and I was 16 years old. And as a 16-year-old girl, I was not prepared, as I don't think any 16-year-old would be okay being told that they were moving to a different country within months.
When my parents first told me that we were moving, it wasn't all that much of a shock to me. I was only 12, so I was living my own little 12-year-old life and not really paying attention that much to the world. And I was like that for a pretty long time until about a month before we were about to leave, and it was like, we're moving. And it all hit me once, and like there were so many emotions in my life, like, what am I supposed to do with this? Because I was angry, I was really sad, and I was panicking because I only have a month left. I don't know how I'm supposed to spend it. And we moved, and I was still dealing with a lot of those emotions, and little by little, I got help through it, and I started to think, oh, it's actually really nice here.
Honestly, there's nothing like an MK.
When we first got here, it was actually really easy to make friends. And they really just invited us in to be their friend and say, hey, come on, sit over here with me.
When you first hear that there's a new kid coming to the field, there's always a lot of questions. You wonder, what are they going to think of us? What are they going to be like? Are they even going to like us? There's always so much curiosity, but you realize that when they come, it's like they were always here.
Yeah, it was pretty easy to talk to the people and get to know them. They're really kind and they appreciate me and they care about me, and yeah, we can just do a lot of things together.
The friendships that I have here are very different than the friendships that I had with my American friends in the States. So these friends here down in Peru, I know them more intimately. I know them because I have grown up with them. They're my sisters, and they're so encouraging and kind and nice, and I feel so much better after I hang out with them. Going to NMK school is really great. There's just so much community and love in it. It's a safe place to be, I guess. Everyone trusts each other. Everyone is like family. We just know and understand what we're going through because we've all moved from our home country, and we just know how it's like. So when someone else comes, we just accept them for who they are.
I really like to go to school here because here you don't only learn about school stuff, right? You also learn a lot about spiritual stuff, which really help you to grow in your faith, and also it helps to talk with other persons here that go through the same thing, right?
I went to a public school. When my family was in the States during 2019 and 20, I did my 7th grade year there. So I know the difference between a public school and this private Christian MK school. And the biggest difference, the way that I can explain it, is just it's not as personal and communal. I had 25 kids in my class, I believe, and there were 2 separate classes. So I didn't know everybody in my grade. I just knew my 2 or 3 close friends. And I didn't know all my teachers. I don't even know their first names because you were just on a last name basis because they were your teachers and that was it. While here,
it's Uncle Bill, and it's Mr. Mike and Aunt Marcy, and it's a much more personal level than what I experienced in the States.
I, however, haven't really had the opportunity to go to a public school. I was born here, I grew up here, and so I grew up going to this school where it offers that family community atmosphere that you know all of the teachers, you know everybody at the school, that the elementary is, you can be friends with the middle school and elementary kids, that it's not such a isolated high school, that you can play with everybody.
I don't know who I would be if I didn't come to Sam Academy. I don't know who I would be outside of this school, this safe life. I think I would be a completely different person, because here I have my best friends who are like sisters to me. I have a family. Though they aren't my blood family, they are a connected family with me, and I wouldn't change that for the world.
Going to an MK school is amazing because the people are a lot more warm and welcoming than they are in any other school around the world. Our teachers are our aunts and uncles, our classmates, our cousins, brothers, sisters. These people, they care about me as a person. Not only do they care about my academic success, my personal success, but they care most importantly about my spiritual success. They care about me and who God has created me to be, so that I can bring the most glory to God and that every single person in the community can grow as close to Him as possible.
Faith is personal and growth is communal. It's what I learned when I came here.
So being an MK can mean lots of things, and one of those means that usually you have this community around you of other MKs who can help you process like different struggles that you may have and different things that you encounter along your path in life. And also for me personally, this has helped with spiritual growth, like being able to talk to other people as well, discussing struggles that may be hard and discussing things that you would like to improve on, like become more like Christ.
I didn't really have a community where I used to live, and this has a great one. God works through the people that are here and through my youth group. All the people that are here are in it, and God uses it to connect us. We have fellowship. I didn't know what fellowship was until I came here.
So before I started coming to SAM, I was homeschooled, and as the oldest child, you don't really have anybody else to relate to, especially in the spiritual aspect or Bible class. All your siblings are younger than you, and you don't have any classmates to relate to in certain spiritual problems or just in general, right? Everyone's younger than you, and they might not understand what you're going through yet. But once I moved to SAM, I met all these guys who were my age, and not just classmates, but they were my brothers. They came and helped me. They were willing to help me and not just be other random students who I see every day. Because of this family setting, because of this brotherhood setting, I was able to grow more in my relationship with Christ and deepen that relationship thanks to this community that we have here.
My walk with God really started going when I was here. God used everybody here to give me advice and good solid teaching. Here is where the mission begins.
So it is not only our maturity and spiritual growth that is important for us, MKs. There's also another side to it. We are here to serve. We are servants of Christ Jesus. And so we're here to serve the people here, the other MKs, because that's part of our life, another aspect of our life here.
There is no MK without the mission field. Growing up here, I've learned that not only are our MK friends a part of our lives, a huge part of our lives, but so are our Peruvian friends. As our parents serve here, we grow together and learn together, and we as MKs also are here to serve.
It's not only our parents that serve, but as missionary kids, we are also called to help out. Like sometimes we go out together to a tribal community like we are doing right now, and we help paint, or we play with the kids, or we help out with whatever project they need help with. Some of us are with Impacto, a program for the elderly people. Some of us are with Granito de Amor, a program for kids. And some of us help out at church, whether it be worship or in the nursery. Our work is just as valuable as the adults' work.
God's given me a good foundation. But that foundation gets a little bit rocked when people leave. You have everybody coming through, everybody grows together in that fellowship, in that brotherhood that you develop, and then you have them leave. And you just got to figure out what you're going to do after that. Got to figure out how that community adapts to that.
The hardest thing would probably be saying goodbye, because people come and go so often. You go through change so much that everything is constantly changing. It's different. And seeing the people you love, seeing the people who you've grown up with, who have been another family for you, is really hard to watch them go. It's really hard to be left behind.
Being left behind is really weird because you're still in this connected community. You're still with your friends, but there's just something or someone missing. And so while we use the word abandoned or like left behind, it's weird because they're not there anymore, but you're still doing the same activities. You're still doing school, still having fun, but they're just not there to do it with you. And you have these memories of hanging out, doing things, but it's different now because they're not there. So it's really weird and hard to explain because the only way you can explain it is just that they're not there anymore. The thing that makes graduation really hard is that you're not gonna see them for a long time. So as seniors leave, they're not just going to the next state over, they're not just going to a different town, they're going to a different continent, they're going to a different country. And so it's hard for families to bring their kids back for Christmas. It's hard for them to bring their kids back for breaks. And so you have this great connection with one of the seniors, and then they leave, and then you see them maybe 2 years later, and it's just different because 2 years have passed. You haven't seen them in so long. And so graduation, while it's a good time for them to leave because it's the end and they do need to move on with their life as well as we do, it's just hard because you know that it's going to be a long time before you see them again.
So last year, we had quite a few families leave, but one family actually came back to visit, and it was interesting because one of the kids, one of my friends said that, made a comment. They said, "It's as if we had never left." And it took me a moment to kind of process that because I was like, wait a second, you left me for a whole year and you're here telling me it's as if you had never gone away or whatever. Like, yes, we go on trips or furlough and then come back, but going a whole year without that family was really hard. It made me frustrated and kind of angry with them because it had caused me a lot of pain and hurt to go the whole year without them, to go so long without seeing them in person or seeing them and making the memories that I used to make with them.
I've been here for several years, and because of that, I've had to say goodbye to a lot of people, a lot of very close friends. I had to say goodbye to my sister. I've had to say goodbye to so many people, and the question always comes up, does the pain ever get better? Well, the truth is, yeah, because once you realize that that pain is a result of the deep love that you have had for those people, the pain does get better because you realize that it's only there because you've loved them, and it's only there because they have loved you. And so as I prepare to go through the next steps of life, as I prepare to step out into the world, I'm going to continue to feel pain, but that pain is a result of how much the people around me love me, and it's a result of how much I love them. Honestly, I can't really explain what it's like to be an MK, but one thing that I can say is that I wouldn't change it for the world.